Hello, friends. Welcome again on our platform to share something again which all might come across in our day to day life. Either you are a practitioner or a student or a client who is trying to follow Ayurvedic advice given to you by your practitioner. So, the issue which I'm going to share today is that many customer who come, I will share my clinic experience, my college experience, our student, our practitioner, as well as then having an understanding on a wider level. Either it is in India where I spent more than 15 years, 15 to 20 years, I will say, before moving to this part of the world, and then giving lectures in different colleges in my time when I was in India. So one thing what I want to talk about, and then maybe I will make this talk today as a open discussion so that those who are associated with Ayurveda at whatever level, either they are graduate from India with the BMS degree or practitioners in this country, in Australia and New Zealand, as Ayurvedic lifestyle consultant after the diploma qualification or advanced diploma qualification and practicing as a practitioner, or those students who very enthusiastically pick up Ayurveda with a hope to make it as a profession, changing career path. So one thing what all of us face time to time, that client who come to our clinic for various kind of problem, whether we talk about simple hay fever, asthma, whether it is they are suffering from yellow fever, whether they are suffering from the gut related issue, IBS, colitis, Crohn's disease, whether they are suffering from rheumatoid arthritis, other autoimmune disorders, whether it is lupus or other problem, and then MS and fibromyalgia, myasthenia gravis, you name it. And then all the mental health issues, depression, panic attack, suicide. And they come to our clinic after trying every other modality. Mainstream medicine is always one choice with them which they all follow, or they are still following, because if they have such diseases where the medicines has to continue, whether it is your simple diabetes part, diabetes 2 is there, or arthritis is there, or your high blood pressures and other thing. And then they also have tried various other modalities, whatever modality they might have picked up, whether they have gone to a nutritionist, dietitian. And when they come to our clinic, and when the complete program is given to them to start following, to see how it can impact. And to be very honest, and I'm sure those who come to our clinic and get this advice, they might also be listening to this talk. that they all get so much benefit from that program, that in spite of their first reaction that whatever the advice has been given in their clinical session, they always raise their eyebrows, because whatever is being shared with them is totally opposite what they have been hearing out in the world, either due to their practitioner's advice or to the social media information, whether it is eating salad all the time, or taking smoothies, or intermittent fasting, or plant-based milk, or grain and nuts milk, or some other diet related issues, and then the various lifestyle factor and the mental factor. And because they have no other choice, they never made a first choice to, when they have their suffering, to come to an Ayurvedic practitioner, at least in this part of the world, I would say more strongly anyway. And when they come to our clinic and they get the program, and then they start feeling so much better, that they have never experienced that level of benefit. And even though they know that their problem is not on a one-day game, they have to follow these advice for at least few months, definitely minimum 3 months. Sometime it can go more than that. But then the question what I'm going to share is that after 2 months, 3 months, many of them will ask this one question, that how far I have to keep following the advice given by you to me. Is it going to be my lifelong changes? Do I need to do all these regimes on a daily basis? And then, in the same way, if you look at many students who try to pick up Ayurveda as a career path for whatever reason, they feel convinced that Ayurvedic medicine is something they would like to take it as a career path and would like to help people. But when they come to the courses, and I can definitely talk about the courses offered at AIS, our institute in Brisbane, that when they get into start their study with us, many of them start feeling that do Ayurveda has to be so comprehensive, so in depth? Do I have to put so much effort into this? Do I have to do all the assignments all the time? And when they are being advised that whatever you are learning, best option will be that try to incorporate this as a part of your own life and make the changes. And that is where the problems start. Still, we all know Ayurvedic science is becoming very popular and getting more and more acceptable among those who want to learn it and adopt as a profession, or those who are keen to follow Ayurvedic advice in their problems what they are suffering. life-threatening or other simple to major ailment. First of all, with the student and the practitioner, they don't understand that Ayurvedic medicine is not a new age related medicine. It is one of the oldest system of healing. And in India, student to get a degree in Ayurveda, which is Bachelor in Ayurvedic Medicine and Surgery, they have to spend 6 year full-time study in Ayurvedic colleges and universities to get this basic degree. And then that study is again not something, the type of the courses what are being offered in this part of the world, which are assignment based. It means assignment based means they have to be assessed for their skills. And then all the assignments are open book assignments. So it's not like an Ayurvedic student who is trying to become an Ayurvedic doctor in those universities. They have to start from the very first day so in depth, because they know every year there will be, at the end of the year, examinations are coming up. And those examinations are done by the external examiners, not the internal universities teachers who are teaching them. And then they are being marked by the external teachers. So all the time students have to constantly be on their toes to learn the science so that they can end up as a confident, competent practitioner, because they all know, and those who are teaching them, they also know that these practitioners, once they are out in the market, they have to deal with the life of people who are suffering from various problems, and they will come to them to seek advice for their problem. So that's from the very beginning. Now, even Ayurveda is becoming so much popular in this part of the world, all over. But first, because there are still not much standards in teaching, in spite of the fact that Australia and New Zealand are the only two countries where two courses has been approved by the Australian government and recognized that these are the basic qualifications to practice. But then, and we all know that we come under complementary medicine, but still many students who join Ayurveda in different colleges, they don't understand that their study has to be to that level that they have to put so much effort. They don't even recognize that what they have chosen is not in a modality which is just to know about Vata Pitta Kapha. This is in a modality where, as I just said, in India, student has to go through that comprehensive university levels 5 year degree, and not just limiting there. Then they have to go for the post graduation, what we call as MD qualification, and then they can do the PhD and other parts. So PhD is something those who want to go into the teachings and other, they will be more interested. But for the practice, even MD qualification is becoming very common. So you can see at least 9 and 10 full years of their life and comprehensive study they have to put to become an Ayurvedic practitioner. But yes, I do agree that the way Ayurveda is being taught in Ayurvedic colleges, it is still taught as a modality, not as a philosophy. And that is what the difference we always talk about, that how in our Western world, if Ayurveda, yoga, these are getting more and more acceptable and popular as a profession, they are only getting popular because of their philosophies and principles. Because this science empower each individual that how they can play a role in their well-being by making changes to the core cause of the problem, not just fixing the symptom using the, even it is Ayurvedic herbs or Ayurvedic treatments and other things. So that point of difference is always there. But when we talk about our Western world, where I'm talking about now Australia specifically, that where these courses are being run, so student makes such a big sacrifice and shift whatever profession they might be into to take up Ayurvedic courses. But to the sad part is that many of them, when they see that they have to study so much in depth, they have to remember so much information, they need to learn how to put this all informations together for their client in their clinic, and they have to also understand about all the herbs and all the various formulations. They start becoming a little bit vulnerable. Vulnerable only because when they even decided to take up Ayurveda as a part of their new career path, they never comprehend, never thought that this study has to be so much comprehensive, so much in depth. And then sadly, many of them drop out, even though in their heart they feel so much convinced that Ayurveda is a solution for all the problems what we are seeing in the community nowadays. If there is any science which has some hope, that is Ayurveda. But in spite of all that, they struggle because in their mind they have not given so much in-depth thinking that if I'm committing for either diploma level course which can be completed in 18 months or advanced diploma program which can be completed in 3 years, that I have to think only of my study, and I have to put constant, consistent effort every day, because even if you miss one day, then the workload start piling and you will be always under that workload and never able to come out of that darkness. And then outcomes is they will then think, okay, this is not a program I need to do. And then there are so many other such students who want to study Ayurveda, and then they try to find such institute where they know that they can get their qualification, same qualifications, within 6 months, within 8 months, and not to do much part of the assignments and others, or sometimes they feel that the fees charged by that particular institute is so much less than the other institute, and they feel that this will be right place for me to go. But when they go to those institute and study for say 4 or 5 months, and if some of those students were really serious to study Ayurveda but they get carried away due to these facts, they start feeling very disappointed. And then those who carry on and feel happy that I'm getting my qualification within 6 months, when they try to set up clinic out in the market, they start getting totally scared when client come in the real practice with a lot of serious ailment, and those ailment have been with those clients for such a long time, and not able to provide them much in-depth understanding of the case and then the program. And the reason of that is very obvious. They themselves has never able to incorporate all the learning, whatever level they are learning, in their own life at a first place. So they don't know whether whatever I am advising to my client, is it working or it will work or not. They need to depend upon the response of their client. And then coming back to our own student, that's where I'm saying I'm not talking about only the other colleges. I'm talking about in general about people who want to follow Ayurveda. They know Ayurveda is the only hope now for them in their life. And then also those students who take up Ayurveda to be their career path in the coming whole rest of the life, but they cannot cope with the pressure. And then whatever is being advised constantly, that whatever you are learning in every class, you must put that in your own life first. But still many are of the view that I will start doing that when I will put my practice, and those are the one who get more and more vulnerable. And then outcome is they will decide easily that this is not what I want to do, or either will go to a more easy way of getting piece of qualification, or I might look at into other modality. So what is the reason behind that? That is where today our subject is for discussion. And in Ayurveda we talk about that when they're not able to follow Ayurveda with the complete complex approach, which is known as Chit Yoga Sadhana plan. And what is this Chit Yoga Sadhana plan? This Chit Yoga Sadhana plan is again self-evaluation at each level, that when you are being given certain advices to follow, which we call as our daily and seasonal routine, if you being able to follow them on a daily basis and not even missing one day, that is your, say as an example of first stage of crossing in that Chit Yoga Sadhana, which has minimum 6 stages. It will not let you go to the next stage. And the Chit Yog Sadhana program is dealing with your chit. Chit means you're conscious. And as we know, we can cheat the whole world. You can cheat your teacher even in the class when the teacher will ask you, are you following these regimes? And they might say, yes, I'm following every day. But deep down they know that they have not followed it. So they are going to cheat their own conscience. And that is where the problems start. Chit Yog Sadhana. Yog means union. Union means to your inner union. This is what you will see this program helping us to that level, what we call as self-realization. And when you are completing that program, step by step, stage by stage, whether it is the diet planning, and in that diet planning, if based on the imbalances, based on the objective, what one client need to achieve, they will be given a specific program. And no matter how much lurement social media give you about having a bread all the time and pizza and cheese all the time and protein dominant food, or your smoothies and your organic food, or the plant-based milk, which is nowadays a big issue, and then the intermittent fasting kind of aspect, they don't understand that is it suitable for me, is it compatible for me or not. And that is where the nutrition process comes in. People always will show that this is what diet planning has been given, this is the nutritionist advice is with me. And when you look at, no nutritionist ever talk about that tin foods are not good for you, frozen food is not compatible for you, processed foods are not compatible for you. No one give you a 21 meal plan. Yes, some are now start becoming a bit more considerate about the metabolism, because this is one aspect is being picked in the Western medicine now, that every problem relate with the gut, and how again we have to work out with the gut. But then the situation is, if it has been assessed that your this enzyme is not being produced in the right amount at a right time, advice is given to the client that don't need to worry, you can start taking this particular nutraceutical product, this will do the job for you, and client feel happy. Because the problem what we all face, even though we all know deep down that this is not a problem, this is actually a reality, that until or unless I will make changes which has been advised and identified by this practitioner to that in-depth level, and even I am suffering for the last 5 years, 6 years, 10 years from my these problems and not getting anywhere, but even making these changes in the last 3 months, my life has shifted totally up and down. That is what we say, upside down. Means you have seen so much great benefit, and you know that you have not been bombarded by the supplement all the time. You have been empowered at every level. You have been given the advice in regard to how you can make your food as medicine. And then on a daily basis. You have been given a complete program that how to deal with your mental and emotional issues. So all of us, either as a client, we know that whatever has been given to me and putting it into practice is making such a huge difference in my well-being. Still their question, as I said in the beginning, after 3 months comes up, how long I have to follow this plan? Because that is where the issue comes up. They will always think that I can get better and I can get back into my old habits. Going to old habits is not bad thing. But when you know those old habit has been the cause of your problem at the first place, so why knowingly I have to go that path which can create chaos in my life? What is in a big deal if I have to give up certain things which are clearly showing me that they are not compatible to my body? And how I always advise, whether it is my client or my student, that if you been given a program, you have followed it for 3 months and you have seen so much difference, and now your inner cravings are asking you that you want to get into those things again, no harm. Start following those things which you feel I cannot live without those. And then be honest to your observation. And you can easily see that the moment you start indulging into those things for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, you can see many of the signs and symptoms start creeping, even though they come up at a very light level. But then, because your body has now start cleaning at a physical, mental, and emotional level, you able to pick up even a slight shift in your body, and then also that is giving you clear understanding that why my practitioner has advised me not to take these items at a first place. So then why we have to not accept that I have to keep following, or I should adopt this lifestyle as a part of my life? Yes, you might not able to do everything every day, but that is perfectly fine. But totally stopping and start thinking that how I can go back into my those old habits, that is where the problem is. Ayurvedic approach, we all are getting very, very clear now. If there is any hope left in the world for our well-being, for the solution of the sufferings what we are suffering, is Ayurvedic approach. And again, I have shared at a many different platforms that I'm not saying this as a biased, because I'm Ayurvedic doctor and I'm running my institute and the clinic, and that's what I'm saying. I'm happy to have a good open discussion with full respect to everyone, whether they are medical doctors, whether they are nutritionists, dietitians, or other kind of practitioner, naturopath, herbalist, or anyone. Let's have an open discussion on any subject related with our client's problem, because I'm sure all of us at some stage in our life, we are keen to help our client. And as I always have said, Western medicine has its own role. You cannot ignore that. And that's what we accept wholeheartedly. But at the same time, every Western medicine practitioner also understand that there are so many gaps now in the Western medicine's approach, and hence people have to make changes. And those changes cannot be just that, okay, you start eating salad or you start fighting with the machines in the gym as on the name of exercise and becoming active. And that's not the solution for your mental health, which we all know is such a big issue nowadays. So we have to deal with the core cause. And that is where that approach has to be consistent, regular. And that is where Ayurvedic Chit Yog Sadhana program comes up. Any practitioner who is able to give you that program, that is what you can see will be in a complete, authentic approach for any ailment, for any client from that practitioner. And on top of that, one thing I will share with you also. Now, many of you who are somehow understanding Ayurveda or trying to follow Ayurveda, they might have also heard Panchkarma is a very comprehensive detox and rejuvenative treatment program of Ayurveda. Very systematic approach to dislodge the deep city toxin and help in the various ailment. And to achieve that, because this is being again market on social media so much that people might would like to visit India, and they visit India to do that Panchkarma program for 30 days, 21 days, 14 days for various reasons. One is cost factor, no issue with that. Second is they will feel that I can go and even visit India also during that time, and then can enjoy all the beaches and other part, which is fine. India is such a vibrant country, right? That even if you spend half of your life, you can't see the beauty of India. So much there to see, so much there to absorb, so much there to learn. So people go for those Panchkarma trip, tourism and well-being trips are all the time being marketed. But when you will see, they will spend those 31 days, 21 days there, having a nice food cooked for them in the resorts or in those hospitals and places, and get the treatment and feel so good, because Ayurvedic treatments are themselves so much powerful that when you enjoy them, even one or two treatment fortnightly on a regular basis, it can transform your whole body. But when you are having these treatment at a comprehensive level for continuous 31 days, 21 days, 14 days, you will feel so good anyway. But that is the end of that experience. When you come back to your normal life, not even a one person ever able to continue what they were following in those 21 days or 14 days or 10 days. They go back into their old habits, and the reason is no one has advised them that whatever you are being advised here is going to be a part of your life. If there are so much serious problems, someone has taken to get some answers, and that is the another problem. Again, as I said, with very humble request, I'm happy even if one Panchkarma experienced client in Australia can ready to talk to me that whatever problem you were suffering, you have gone to get Panchkarma treatment, you might have felt so good. Are you following all the advice? I'm not talking about the products. Products you might be getting on a monthly basis or 6 monthly basis from India or wherever. I'm talking about the comprehensive program of following your daily seasonal routine, and then what advice is on your nutrition, diet, how to make your food as medicine, and mental emotional issues to deal with. So that comprehensive program, what we talk about Chit Yog Sadhana, is the only solution to help us and help everyone around you to experience that wellness in their life. And the same is for the student. I'm talking who are our future practitioners, that if they are making decision to take Ayurveda as a part of their new profession, while making their research that what institute I should pick up and how, they must make a research that what level of in-depth learning I have to do so that I can be at least to some level, either in my diploma program or in the advanced diploma program, will be to that level what our 5-year degree holders are as far as their theoretical knowledge is a part. So that will only come if you are committed at whatever course you have picked up to learn from that level of teachers who have studied to that level or higher and have spent at least 30 years, 40 years in clinical practice, so that they can give you that clinical experience, not the theoretical experience which I shared in the beginning, you can get in the universities. And then be prepared to absorb that and be prepared from the very first day to put that in your life so that you can have a living practical experience that whatever is being talked in Ayurveda, does it work or not? Whether it is your simple daily routine of waking up at a right time, doing your brushing and scraping, why it has to be done within 3 minutes. If you are not able to get the answer from your teacher on that, it means you are not learning authentic Ayurveda. In the same way, there are other routines. Again, if you are not doing the every night processing of your thought and not become capable of start facing the mirror while you are studying, it means you are not even touching the basics of Ayurveda. And that is where you will find your foundation will be always crumbling and you will be vulnerable. And that is why many students who give up after joining courses is only that reason. So make informed decision to study Ayurveda so that you can carry on, you can do justice to your decisions and play a active and important role in the well-being of people who are suffering, and their sufferings are always on increase, as we all know. Every day new ailments are coming up, and if there is any solution, it is only Ayurvedic approach, Ayurvedic practice. But that a practice has to be at a comprehensive level. That practice has to be complete Chit Yog Sadhana plan. If it is only one segment or two, neither your clients are going to understand the importance and how we should be following it on a regular basis, neither you as a student or as a practitioner can comprehend and understand, and that the reason that sufferings will keep coming to us also. Whereas if we are able to follow the Chit Yog Sadhana plan, which is the backbone of Ayurvedic approach, not only you can help your client to that comprehensive at deeper level and help in their emotional, mental and the physical problem, but you can also prevent all your problems, if not 100%, I will say at least 90%, you will be in a position to overcome all your problem. That is what I can assure you. But as we always say, ball is in your court. You have to start. You have to understand what complete Ayurveda is. And the same part, then we have to strongly, passionately, logically have to explain to our client that if you can see the benefit in your well being by following it for 3 months, just think in your head, if you will do it for, say, 18 months, for 20 months, where your level of wellness will go. So, why to suffer by just only because I have to make changes? I cannot enjoy my smoothies and I can't enjoy my plant based milk. Just that taste of your lips is going to take you to that deep down problems. Do we need to have that kind of attitude in our life? Let's come out of that darkness and let's accept true Ayurveda, which is the ultimate hope, but that hope is only if it is coming with that Chit Yog Sadhana plan. So I try to share today and try to mitigate all the questions and the reason why students take up passionately Ayurveda as the profession, but they have to drop in between, and then also to the client, in spite of seeing benefit for their sufferings, which they are suffering for such a long time, and then try to drift back to their old habit. So, hope this talk can give you something to think on and try to adopt. Thanks, everyone.